Hi, Kathleen Flanagan here, and I'm back talking about transformation and changing your perspective. Okay, so I left off about something that happened, a healing right before the eclipse, and I believe this was on that Sunday. And I was talking about how this woman I had traveled with had pushed another button, and I was so incredibly upset. And I went into the kitchen and talked to a woman, and I said, "Can I ask you something?" And I proceeded to ask her something, and then I swear to God, within moments, it was like three or four other women came out of nowhere, and they were listening to what I had to say because everybody had been watching what was going on in this situation between the two of us, and it wasn't pretty by any stretch of the imagination. And I just, so one of the women came out and she said, "Kath, you are so incredibly good. You have decided you don't want to deal with this, that you have pushed this so far out in your aura, and you will never get this to move if you don't bring it back in." And I'm like, "Well, I don't want to bring it back in." And I mean, I knew I was going to, but it's the games you play with yourself. And she says, "You really need to bring this back in." So one of the other women said, "Okay, what I want you to do is I want you to take what happened just now and take it to the original thought, which actually happened. I knew what that was the day before, and I saw both of them. It was like there was this line right here, and I could see today's event, and then I saw the timeline." And she went like that, and if they were standing around me in a circle, I would have fallen flat on my face. I, at that moment, crushed the timelines. I brought past, present, and future, all lifetimes that I have ever existed, all came into one moment, and I just about thought I was going to pass out. I mean, I went on fire. I mean, they actually had to get cold water on me. I was in flames. That's how it felt. I was just burning up, and I was bringing this thought in so I could heal what was happening with this thought form of what this woman had done to trigger. And I was bringing it in, and I was breathing as hard as I could to bring it in, and I didn't want to, and it was being pushed into because the women were helping me. And I brought a lot of really cool tools with me, and they were using them, and I didn't know that yet. And then I had to sit down because I thought I was going to faint. And then, then the healing happened, and so on and so forth. And it was absolutely amazing what went on. And it was so profound that I didn't understand all of it yet, other than it was like, wow, I think I crushed the timelines. That was the other thing about the eclipse, was that we were transcending timelines. That the timeline that we're in this third dimensional world, is that we're going into a higher dimension. And we're going into where it's more of that love, peace vibration, where we are connected, we are one. It is no longer the I, it is the we. And then, and that the availability of the resources, of money, of whatever it is supposed to be there. And all of this old thinking and old way of being was coming to an end. And I tell you, this actually happened. And this really did happen during the eclipse, because I could feel it. It wasn't just, I didn't need to see the corona of the eclipse at that point. What I needed to do was feel this. And I have pictures where ETs were everywhere in my photos. I mean, it was an amazing thing that I was able to capture on my camera. And during this process with this thing, what ended up happening was I ended up taking a plane and flying home. Now, I didn't want to do that, and of course, the morning I had to give her the message that I was going to do this, I had one more issue, and that was abandonment. And what was the first thing that came out of her mouth? Is, "You're leaving me?" And it was, "No, I'm not leaving you. I'm doing this for me." And at that moment, and I said, "And thank you for letting me know." And she told me that she was terminating our friendship because of this. And I said, "Well, thank you for letting me know that I made the right decision." And I went out of the house as she was hunting me down, and I, did my scream thing to get her to leave me alone. And I got in the car and I took an airplane home. I can't believe, first of all, that I did this. I took total trust in the universe that I would get on a plane the day after the eclipse. And trust me, that was not easy. Southwest Airlines is my favorite airline in the world because they did everything to help me. And I got home that afternoon. And there was the most liberating feeling of, I can do anything anymore. Nothing is holding me back. Everything is moving in a forward direction because I stood up for myself and I said, enough. I'm going to continue the story. in the next video, because I don't want them to be too long, I do want to mention that I do have 2 free chapters of my book that I'm giving away for free, and the link is below. And I am also giving away a free 3-minute de-stress meditation for you. I look forward to talking to you again, and make